Hello friends, welcome to another practice question of arithmetic progressions. This is the 32nd question in the series. I will strongly urge you to go back and watch the previous 31 as well. The link to the entire playlist is down there in the description for your reference. This is a HOTS question, which is a higher order thinking skills question. These questions generally are not very difficult, but they just involve some amount of manipulation left and right, some amount of manipulation. You have to keep your eye always at the result to see what you want to arrive at. Okay, so in Hindi we use a term called jugaad. These kind of questions generally need a lot of jugaad to solve rather than very higher order mathematical skills. Okay, let's start solving this one. This is a lengthy and an irritating question, but not difficult or complicated at all. Okay, so let's start solving this one. It says the sum of the first P, Q and R terms of an AP are A, B and C. Okay, so sum of the first sum of P terms is A, sum of Q terms is B and sum of R terms is C. Okay, so what this means is that A is equal to also, since ABC are being used here, let me put the first term as A, and let me put the common difference as capital D. Okay, just to differentiate between this A and this A, and the these are assumed values. Okay, capital A and capital D are assumed values. Okay, so what will A become? A will be P by 2 multiplied by 2A plus P minus 1 into capital D. Okay, this is part 1. Okay, let me draw a line here. Oops. Oops. Okay, uh, let's ignore that. Second part is B is equal to sum of Q terms. So what we have is B is equal to Q by 2 multiplied by Q by 2 multiplied by 2A plus Q minus 1 into D. Okay, and similarly C will be equal to R by 2 into 2 2A, sorry, 2A, yeah, plus R minus 1 into capital D. So we have three terms, which is A, B and C. Now if I take the 2 on this side and the P below, what I get is 2A by P, which is 2A by P is equal to 2A by P is equal to 2A plus P minus 1 into D. Here what it will become is 2B by Q is equal to 2A plus Q minus 1 into D, and here this term will become 2C by R is equal to 2A plus R minus 1 into D. Okay, we got this. Now if I multiply this first term by Q minus R, okay, if I multiply on both sides by Q minus R. Okay, why am I multiplying by Q minus R? Because I have to reach this term. So I have A by P, I have to go to Q minus R. Similarly I will multiply by R minus P, and similarly over here I will multiply by P minus Q. Okay, so when I multiply these three terms with these three values, what do I get? I get, now this is going to get lengthy, I will get part 1 or the LHS that I have to prove, which is 2 times of A into Q minus R, the whole thing divided by P, plus 2B into R minus P, whole thing divided by Q, plus 2C into P minus Q, and this whole thing divided by R. Okay, this is the LHS. Now see, this is the LHS that we actually wanted, and this whole thing will now be equal to the RHS. Okay, let me have a look at the RHS here. So the RHS is 2A plus P minus 1 into D, this whole thing multiplied by Q minus R, plus 2A plus Q minus 1 into D multiplied by R minus P. Okay, then we have this is R minus P. Okay, then we have plus 2A plus 2A plus R minus 1 into D, R minus 1 into D, and this whole thing multiplied by P minus Q. Okay, now you see, I'm not going to solve the LHS. Okay, I'm only going to solve the RHS. So on the LHS, I have received what I wanted to receive. I just have an extra 2 which I have to deal with, so that I'll deal with. Now I am only playing with the RHS. So what will my RHS become? My RHS will become 2 of A. I can take common from everywhere in all these terms. You see, this is 2 of A into Q minus R, this is 2 of A into R minus P, and this is 2 of A into P minus Q. So I can take 2 of A common, and I get Q minus R from the first term plus R minus P from the second term plus P minus Q from the third term. What is happening here is Q is minus Q, P minus P, and R minus R. So this whole thing became 0. Okay, this whole thing became 0, and plus from here I can take the D common. Okay, the moment I take the D common, this becomes P minus 1 into Q minus R plus Q minus 1 into R minus P plus R minus 1 into P minus Q. Okay, so this is already 0, so I am ignoring that. I am just going with the D wala term next. So I get D, and here what I get is, if can I work without opening the brackets? Yes, I can work without opening the brackets as well. So I'm just doing a PP wala terms, PQR wala terms first. So this will be P into Q minus R, this will be one term, plus Q into R minus P, this will be one term, plus R into P minus Q wala term, this will be one term, and whatever remains, okay, whatever remains can be written as minus of 1 multiplied by, this will become Q minus R plus R minus P plus P minus Q. Okay, and this is what is remaining. So you see that this will become D into Q minus Q, P minus P, R minus R. All of this gets cancelled and this becomes 0. What we get here is PQ minus of PR plus of QR minus of PQ plus of RP minus of RQ, and if you look carefully, there is a PQ and there is a minus PQ, there is a QR, there is a minus RQ, there is a PR and there is a minus PR, and this whole thing actually turns to 0. Okay, the whole thing actually turns to 0, and this is exactly what we set out to prove, and this is the solution to the question. I hope you found the solution useful. Do like, share, comment and subscribe. In case you want me to solve any other questions for you, do put down your queries at the WhatsApp number mentioned in the description. Till then, keep working hard, keep practicing hard. Cheers and God bless.